I'm Jeff Cornwall, and this is the Entrepreneurial Mind. Today my guest is Mark Hill with Tandem Realty. I'll be back to talk with Mark after these words.
Talkapolis programming is sponsored in part by the Vane Center, now celebrating 10 years service in Nashville, Tennessee.
Welcome, Mark.
Thank you for having me. I
Good
appreciate
to see you
it.
again.
Yeah.
So, you're in an interesting space in real estate.
Mm-hmm.
I've known you, I guess, for probably about 6-7 years, I would guess.
Yeah.
And just talk about how your business, what you've gone through in the last 6 or 7 years.
So in the last 6 or 7 years, I have taken the what many people feel like is the insane approach of, instead of shifting back towards sales and brokerage in the real estate industry, which is what everybody's was kind of clamoring to do, anticipating.
Can't sell the new
run-up.
stuff, let's resell the old stuff?
Yeah. So what we've done is we have decided to focus just on property management. And I personally like the predictability of it, don't like the roller coaster that comes with the brokerage side.
Right.
And as that has evolved, we found ourselves then starting to, in a very, almost like a proxy way, managing other people's houses that they lived in.
Right.
And so
that's just, Mark, you know stuff about real estate.
That's right.
So
yeah. They say, what is it that you do?
Is there a guy you can call?
Yeah.
Which led to
my guy, which is our most recent service that we've been rolling out, and it's we finally figured it out to 4 words, which is home maintenance concierge service. So it's taking a new spin on instead of having a one of these service companies that has a club that you join and everything. We're taking it from a property manager's approach, which is, hey, we go out and purchase these services all the time. Why don't you just come on board with us and get the benefit of being part of a larger group? So
you've got plumbers, you've got HVAC guys, you've got electricians who are working on all of your commercial properties. You can now deploy them to do routine kind of work on people's homes.
Yeah, it's the a lot of people delay doing any work on their house because they're so afraid of who to call, how much should I pay. If they don't do a good job, how am I going to be able to make sure they do a good job? And so,
there's one more, the upsell.
Oh yeah, the upsell. Yeah, the upsell. Everybody always is afraid of that too.
Oh,
and so,
I hate the upsell.
Yeah. So
everything looks great, but if you don't put this in, here's something that could happen.
The flux capacitor on your.
I bought 3 of those. Yeah.
Berry rejuvenator is totally off, and that's what we do. Is we go out and fortunately through our industry, we've been able to find the people that everybody wants to know, but they never have time to find, and so we attract certain people to our business because they want to provide service through all the properties that we manage. And so we just said, okay, we're going to make it a point to just continue to cultivate just service providers that are not, I typically say they're not just one man in a truck usually, but they're also not the large company with the large billboards and advertising budgets and everything. We are going more for the guys that are small, local, family type companies that
my guy.
Yeah, my guy. So we the name we took off of the common just term that's like, hey, I really need something done. They go, well, you need to call my guy. He's this, and so that's how we got it. But it's been really interesting. We haven't really done any big marketing on it yet, and it's already starting to get some traction. And
when you first told the idea to me, it just absolutely clicked. And quite honestly, most ideas don't click with me that quickly. I think it's because I'm a little slow or a little cynical or something. But I mean, it just went, Yeah. I mean, maybe it's because I'm in that target market, but it was, of course I need that.
Yeah, it's most people, especially in my age group, we don't know which end of a hammer to use, and it's just kind of looking at that back to when I was little. Fortunately, my father made me learn how to swing a hammer, do plumbing, electric, stuff like that through the summer jobs where I made nothing. I mean, I look back and I'd have bruises and cuts and everything from hanging drywall, and I go, God, I barely made anything. But it is paying off, because most people my age, they don't know how to do that.
Right.
And they're just saying, I don't know what to do. Well, these are
When
the
you,
new...
and everybody's in a 2-income household these
Yeah.
days, and so and not only if they don't have the knowledge, they don't have the time.
Exactly. So that's what we've done, is we've tried to say, okay, instead of it being that you always go directly to the service provider to try to get it, it's have somebody who's your representative, who acts as your agent
As
to
your
get all your
concierge.
stuff done. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah,
So as cool of an idea it is, it must have just taken off and smoothly just going.
Oh
like,
yeah, absolutely not. As with any new service or idea, part of being an entrepreneur is that you think, oh, it's going to work beautifully.
What could possibly go wrong?
What this is flawless.
Cornwall said it's great.
Yeah. So yeah, we got into it, and we've actually been caught in what I'm calling the perfect storm, which is Nashville is such a booming city, which is great, and all of a sudden, just 6 months ago, you could find a lot of guys that would say, oh, I'm a handyman, I'm this, I'm that, I'm whatever. And then all of a sudden, when the market turns around, they're going, oh, I'm going back to build houses again.
Right.
And so now they're the general contractor again. And to me, in my perception of the market, is that all of a sudden, all this plethora of people that we could contract with to do work is just kind of vaporized. They're gone.
Right.
And then you also have catastrophic storm events that happen that also suck labor out of the market and move them to other sections of the country. And so we have now just said, okay, there are some services that we know that are always going to be purchased through our customers and our clients. We're going to go ahead and try to bring those in-house. And again, not make it something where it's an outrageous amount. Some people, I talk to them and I say it's like Costco for your home. Costco doesn't make everything in their store, but they make toilet paper because they know you're going to buy a lot of toilet paper.
Right.
And so that's what we're doing, is we're just saying, okay, our membership is this amount, and then there's certain services we know you're going to need, and we're going out.
So electrical,
yeah,
HVAC, maintenance.
We're actually those that are not specialized, like HVAC, will probably continue to subcontract. Because it requires licensing,
right.
EPAs and everything, but just general guys to do stuff, light electrical, light plumbing, some general carpentry. Those guys are the ones that we're going to try to find, so that we can go in and say, okay, you've got 3 things here that if you categorized them would be 3 different trades, but they're light, they're minor, we can get them all taken care of by one guy.
Now, I mean, there's obvious overlap between your primary business of running real estate for people and being property managers, and this business, but there's a lot of difference too. You're dealing with business to business client versus business to consumer, and what are some of the surprises you've had in starting a business that looked like it would be a logical extension but ended up being a lot different than you thought?
Really and truly, it's actually been a lot easier in our interaction with the homeowners, because what we run into with the management aspect when we're managing an investment is that we're in the middle of 3 conflicting parties: the tenant who wants more for their money, the owner who wants to give less for the money, and the vendor who just wants more money.
Right. And
so we're in the middle of that, and I always say that if 80% of the people that we interact with are happy, then we're probably doing the best job we can. That's really what we try to do now. Since that
means one day a week sucks.
Yeah. In fact, I think I'm probably good for a really good week coming up here real soon. But it really is. It's been different because typically, with the tenant and the owner and the vendor there. We're in the middle and we have to interact with all 3. Well, now that we have removed really the tenant aspect of it and we're just between the owner and the vendor, it's actually gone really well.
Do you envision this could become as big as your commercial work at some point?
I think it could far eclipse it, because really this is open to anybody that owns a piece of real estate that needs assistance with managing it. My opinion of it, or my view of it, is that this could be a product as universal almost as insurance, because if you have a piece of real estate, whether it's owner occupied or tenant occupied, you may want to have this. Even if you manage it yourself, you may want to have somebody that's on your side to get the maintenance done. If
Right.
it's a tenant, we've got some rental property owners that have signed up for that and nothing else. They said, I can lease the property, I can do the bookkeeping myself. It's a breeze. I just don't know who to call for maintenance. And so they've brought us in on that. People looking to keep parents or elderly people in their house longer. We're
Well,
supplement
and
to
that's
that.
that's the piece I was just going to. In fact, I was just
Yeah.
going to ask you about. You know, my generation is the next one. The baby boomers are the next one to head into nursing homes, and I don't know a single baby boomer who is ready to go.
Yeah.
and it is
Yeah.
no way. And that brings in this element of needing an array of support services to make that possible so they can stay in their homes. And I mean, I see a huge market in terms of that for you guys.
Yeah,
So-
and I think the federal government's pushing them also, or is rolling out programs to keep people in their home
Oh, yeah.
for care. So that's what, we're going to try to contact home care agencies and say, hey, this is what we do, we'll assist.
Well, let's
So,
get you back sometime in the near future and see how this is progressing.
I appreciate it. Thanks
Thanks,
for
Mark.
having
Good
me
to
on,
see you.
Jeff. Good to see you too.